What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our van build series. If you're new here, my name is Jordan, and together with my fiance Lise, we're converting this 2022 Ford Transit to travel here in a few months. As you saw in the last episode, we started our electrical system. I made it far enough for us to have lights, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done. I do have to figure out the DC to DC charger. I've looked on forums. I cannot understand what you're supposed to do to set up a D+ connection to your car alternator or battery. Hopefully we can figure something else out. Also gotta install the solar controller, and I have to install the inverter. So I know you guys forget sometimes that there's two people gonna be in this van. What is that? You know, my biggest goal for becoming successful on YouTube and having subscribers is just so I could do a poll and ask people if they really think Charles is cute or ugly.
Everybody's gonna say cute. Look at him.
I don't believe that. It's just a motherly thing to say. He just threw up in his mouth. Just adds to it. Anyway, start stripping these wires. She's gonna sit out here with me.
Start stripping. Time
to continue on with electrical and all the fun, boring stuff. Bear with me, because it is an important step. We have our crimping tool. I probably could have just ran these straight to the distribution box, but as like a precautionary thing, we're just gonna go ahead and put them in these little crimping things. That way, there's not gonna be any stray wires. We're just gonna get all these crimped up, and then we can start installing them into the distribution box. Little crimp end. I don't know what the ferrule, that's what it is. It's the ferrule crimper. Slide it over your wire, put it into your crimper. We have all of our wires crimped. Now it's time to... So you're gonna route all your positives right here, and then your negatives are gonna be routed down here where this little notch is. Now with your positive, you have to go with the corresponding fuse for that. So like the first one we put in is our overhead lights, the puck lights, and I have a 15 amp fuse. The process of just going through, and it might be easier to do the shorter wires first, just to make sure you provide enough wire to wherever your distribution panel is going to be, or like your fuse panel. You know, when we put the other panel on, you can write in what each thing is for. I'm going to go through and wire all these up, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. I just wired in our shore power wire and our outlet for our distribution box. I'm going to wire up the display, and we're going to wire up our Bluetooth hub so we can check in through the Renergy app. So we are back another day of trying to get this electrical figured out. We just need to install our solar charger controller. We need to install our DC to DC. But I do have to figure out how to indicate to our DC to DC charger that the car is turned off. Hopefully our solution here, we got this smart battery isolator. We're gonna get those two things installed, so let's get into it. We already had this mounted, but now we're gonna run the wires to it. So this is our positive, this is our negative. So we're installing a 100 amp breaker. So it's gonna run from the solar panel, the the positive wire. It's gonna run through our breaker, out, and then connect back into here. So we have our positive solar panel lead, we have our negative, we have our positive battery lead, which will go back to our bus bars, and our negative battery lead, which will go back to the bus bar. Putting on our temperature sensor, put in the data cable back to our Bluetooth hub. Alright, so we got our solar charge controller installed. Now we're going to move on to our DC to DC charger. I've already ran the wires, both the positive, the negative, D+ connection. I'm going to route these things, and I'm going to get some lugs put on, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the DC to DC charger shuts off when the car shuts off. So for the DC to DC charging wires or cables that we use, we went with a 2-aught because it is traveling so far. It's traveling from the front all the way to the back power supply. So we got the wires ran underneath the sliding door. There's actually a ledge just right below that mechanism. All right, guys, that's what it looks like. Got all the batteries in, got our inverter in, the distribution panel. Until I get breakers for the AC side, got a couple fuses in for the max air fans and our overhead lights. Solar control charger. For me, the most exciting part. If you purchase a Renergy DC to DC charger, someone that has a Ford Transit, this does work. We have our DC to DC charger, I showed you where that was, runs along the wall. We ran the D+ wire, which is this small wire. We ran both our 2-AUG wire. So I have my fuse right here, negative wire to the negative terminal underneath the driver's seat. Then I ran the positive to the fuse, and then from the fuse to the terminal that's right next to the driver's seat. So this isolator right here, I ran our D plus from the D plus on the Renogy DC to DC charger to the isolator, and then from the isolator to the positive battery terminal. It works. It cuts on when the car cuts on, and it cuts off when the car shuts off. So for me, that's a big win, because when I was looking online, I could not find anything online referencing that. So I saw some guy bypassed it with like a little switch, like a light switch, but I mean, who really wants to do that? Like, what if you forget? Like, that's kind of the purpose of the D plus connection on these DC to DC chargers. So yeah, that's exciting to me. I guess I could like demonstrate. Let's go over here. Inverter cuts on. Max air fans cut on. Get a nice breeze going. Yeah, it's done. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you throw us a like. And also, if this is the type of content you're interested in, go and subscribe, because there's a lot to come. We're about to start traveling here in a few months. I'm super excited because I know we're gonna experience and see a lot of things that we haven't seen before. And I can't wait to share that with y'all. And hopefully y'all stick with us. Until then, y'all have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo.